We certainly appreciate another full house for the Hall of Fame, and I do want to welcome you to the 2016 Niagara University Athletics Hall of Fame Induction Luncheon and Ceremony. My name is Todd Callan. I am the radio play-by-play voice of the men's basketball team here at Niagara University. It is always a pleasure for me to be with you on this day, on Hall of Fame Induction Day, and today is no different, and we certainly have a great program for you today, a great meal for everyone to enjoy. And again, from the voice of the Purple Eagles to each of you, thanks so much for coming out on what promises to be a great afternoon and a full day of sports for you, as we'll highlight throughout the day. So thank you once again for coming and joining us. Since 1964, the best and brightest personalities of Niagara University athletics have been enshrined in the NU Athletics Hall of Fame. That's over 50 years now, folks. The highest honor that a Purple Eagle can receive has been bestowed on 148 individuals and teams for their hard work, dedication, and success achieved right here at Niagara University. Today, the Athletics Hall of Fame will welcome 3 individuals and 1 team to that distinguished family. At this time, I would like to begin the program by introducing the Director of Athletics here at Niagara University, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Gray, for his opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's truly a special day here on Mont Eagle Ridge. I'd like to start by saying a few thank yous and welcomes to special folks that are with us today. We have our Vincentian family. We're so thankful that some of our Vincentian fathers could be here today. Members of our President's Cabinet are with us, as well as members of our leadership team here at the university and of our athletics department. One of the hallmarks of this university that Father Mark has put his stamp on very early in his tenure as president is collaboration. And we can't do anything in our athletics department without the collaboration of the university. So we're very, very thankful that we have so many people here who are incredibly important to the Niagara University mission that are joining us this morning. So welcome and thank you for being here. I'd also like to say some very special thank yous to folks who worked incredibly hard getting this afternoon's ceremony together. A special thank you to Mike Jeswald and his team. He even recruited 6 members of our club rugby team, women's rugby team, to be here today, and they've done a very special job. It's always wonderful to have Niagara University students here to help us. So Mike, thank you and your team. Jennifer Eberly from the athletics department staff, Steve Butler, and then a special thank you to our assistant AD, Derek Thornton. Everything that you see that's published or up here on the screen, Derek and his team have put together, and they certainly did a remarkable job. So to all those from the athletics department, thank you so much. And Howard Morgan from our alumni office helped us get together all the memorabilia. So if you didn't have time during the reception to take a look at the memorabilia, it's a lot of special things out there, so please do. So how about a round of applause as a thank you for everyone. I just have a couple brief points that I'd like to say, and I know we all want to eat lunch and get on to the ceremony, but there's a couple things I would like to say as the athletic director. And on behalf of our department, the athletics department, our head coaches, our staff members, and maybe most importantly, our student athletes, we want to congratulate those that are being inducted today, the individuals and also the team. It's just an incredible accomplishment. We're so proud of you. But it's not just because of what you did when you were here as students at the university, not just those 4 years or less or more. It's because of how you've carried yourself moving on. So getting into the Athletics Hall of Fame at Niagara University is not just about your athletic accomplishments, but it's about the type of person that you were as a student while you were here, and now what type of citizen you are out in society, and carrying on the mission of this university, which is being a servant leader. So you should be noted and recognized, not just for your athletic accomplishments, but for the type of people you are. So on behalf of the athletics department of our university, congratulations. And then finally, I want to talk just a minute on the power of sports. And I could stand up here for 3 days, probably, and we all could give testimony to how powerful sports are and what they mean to each and every one of us. But today, I want to put it in the context of memories. And I had a conversation earlier this week with a couple colleagues of mine, and we were talking about memories, and we were wondering why it is that we remember negative things more than we remember positive things. We certainly remember the happy things that have happened in our life, but why is it that sometimes we get stuck on the negative? And then just last night, as I was driving home from the hockey game, I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about the science of memories. and how every time you think of something, it's like you're making a copy. So every time you think of a memory, you make a copy. So it may get tweaked just a little bit each time as you remember it. But if you think about whether you remember memories worse or better, or you think about maybe it's changed each time you've had that memory, what's really important is that you have the memories, right? So if it's being with Frank and his family last night, or Miriam talking to her this morning, or talking to Chris Watson on the phone when we called to tell him and he's playing in Israel that he's in the Hall of Fame, or certainly observing this hockey team last night as they were meeting again and coming together for the first time in years. It's all about memories, right? And that's truly what we're here today to recognize and remember, is the positive, wonderful memories that each of you have made here at Niagara University, and hopefully carry forward in your life and remember each and every day. And it really is special, and one of the wonderful things I think about memories is that the most special ones are when you can remember them with people you love. And I've seen a lot of that in the last 2 days. So let's just take a moment to reflect that the people that we're here with today, we're celebrating our memories and making another terrific one today. So again, welcome. We hope you have a wonderful day. We're so happy that you're here with us. Enjoy the luncheon.
Ladies and gentlemen, now time to focus on this year's induction class. Undoubtedly some of the finest examples of student athletes in our university's rich history. These honorees have made a significant impact on Niagara University, Western New York, across the nation, and internationally as well. At this time, folks, please focus on the screen as we have a brief video of our first inductee. Mariam Al-Shikarchy earned numerous accolades on the court and in the classroom during her 4-year tennis career at Niagara University. The Purple Eagles' former #1 singles and doubles player finished with the program's second-best singles and doubles records and went undefeated in her MAC career with a 30-0 record in regular season singles matches. She helped Niagara to 2 regular season Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference titles, as well as the program's only 2 MAC tournament titles and 2 NCAA tournament appearances in 2003 and 2005. As a senior during the 2004-2005 season, Al-Shikarchy was named the MAC Player of the Year, the MAC Most Outstanding Performer, and the MAC Female Student Athlete of the Year, while earning first team All-MAC honors at #1 singles and second team All-MAC honors at #1 doubles. A 3-time member of the MAC All-Academic team, Al-Shikarchy was honored in 2005 as an ESPN The Magazine Women's At-Large Academic Third-Team All-American with a 3.92 grade point average in political science. The Fonthill, Ontario native was also honored in 2005 as Niagara's Female Student Athlete of the Year, and she was a 2-time Intercollegiate Tennis Association Academic All-American. Ladies and gentlemen, inducted today into the Niagara Athletics Hall of Fame, please welcome Mariam Al-Shikarchy.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I feel so honored and humbled to be here today and to be inducted into the Niagara Athletics Hall of Fame. It really means the world to me to be back here. One of my favorite tennis players, Andre Agassi, once said that tennis uses the language of life: advantage, service, fault, break, love, and that the basic elements of tennis are those of everyday existence, because every match is a life in a miniature. For me, this analogy holds very true, because I feel like I've lived a million lives through my tennis matches. Every match helped me experience a full menu of human emotions and life lessons that I've taken away and learned from. One thing I would add, though, is that while every match is a life in miniature, as Andre Agassi said, the quality of that life is really dependent on the people around you, what happens off the court, and on the sidelines. My experience at NU was a true manifestation of that. Because while tennis provided me with the arena to play and to compete, it was really the people at NU, my teammates, my coaches, my professors, my peers, and others, whose immense support and friendship really enriched my experience and helped me become a better-rounded person. I look back so fondly on my time at NU. I was able to play a sport that I loved with a group of amazing people that I will cherish forever. My classes and my professors allowed me to develop the skills to excel in my career and to achieve all of my academic and professional goals thus far. And the university's tradition of service instilled a sense of community and responsibility to those around me that enriches my life every day. On that note, I want to thank Niagara University for this honor, for the memories and the wonderful years. And I'd also like to thank my family who's here today for their love and their unrelentless support in everything that I do. And thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Miriam, and congratulations once again. Folks, now, again, focus your attention on the screen for a brief video on our next inductee. Frank Fiannaca's passion for Niagara University has been evident since he first stepped foot on campus over 3 decades ago. Fiannaca was a 4-year starter in right field for the Purple Eagles baseball team from 1981 through 1985, while also serving a 4-year term in Niagara University student government. Fiannaca, who had a batting average of at least 300 in each season, earned Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference First Team North Atlantic Conference honors as a junior, but he cemented his place in Niagara baseball history in his senior season. The Rochester, New York native set the program's single-season batting average record with an average of .469, and that record still stands today. Fiannaca, who started in all 31 games, went 46 for 98 at the plate, including an 18-game hitting streak. The senior captain led the team with 25 RBIs, 39 singles, 24 runs, 4 doubles, and 3 triples. He earned ECAC First Team NAC honors for the 2nd straight season and was named to the ECAC Upstate New York, New Jersey Conference First Team and the ECAC Upstate New York All-Star Team. Frank also received the 1985 Phil Scafidi Award, which is presented to the Niagara University senior student athlete who best exemplifies sportsmanship, spirit, and determination. After graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in computer science, Frank worked for national payroll provider Paychex, and then in 1996, Frank and his wife Mary started USA Payroll in New Jersey. A Purple Eagle through and through, Fiannaca is currently the president of the Niagara University Alumni Association. Ladies and gentlemen, inducted today into the Niagara Athletics Hall of Fame, please welcome Frank Fiannaca.
Thank you, Todd, Father Marr, Simon Gray, and the entire athletic department. Congratulations to the other inductees, and I think I'm the eldest. I'm the elder statesman here this evening. So I'll tell you that you will realize as you age that today is more of an honor and a privilege than it is an award. And entering a class or a fraternity with the other 148 coaches and athletes that have come through this place, it's truly amazing. I'm grateful and humbled by the recognition from a university that's so rich in history and so rich in athletic tradition. Niagara is a very, very special. Choosing Niagara University 35 years ago was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I'd like to thank my friends, my coaches, my teammates, and all of my administrators here that helped me get out of here in 4 years. Coach Bottolato, Coach Salinger, thank you so much for making it here today. I remember like it was yesterday. Coach Sale, you told me to grab a bat. I was pinch hitting at University of Richmond. It was probably the 3rd or 4th game of the season. the kid was throwing heat. Now I'm in the Hall of Fame now, Father, so he was probably throwing over 100 miles an hour. It was my very first at bat, and Mark Gabriel, I couldn't get the donut off the bat. I was so nervous. Mark Gabriel came out of the dugout and he said, "Look, if he gives you a bad pitch, you're a bad ball hitter. If he gives you a bad pitch, just drive it hard somewhere." The first pitch he gave me was a high fast, shoulder high fastball inside middle, inside half of the plate. And I did what any other well-coached college freshman would have done. I closed my eyes and I swung as hard as I could. The ball went over the scoreboard in left center field. This is the farthest ball I ever hit in my life. So my first at-bat in Niagara was a home run, and I'll never forget it. That evening, 9 guys were benched for breaking curfew at the University of Richmond. And I was inserted into the starting lineup the next day, and the rest is history. But Tony, you were one of those 9, Tony. Father Shea, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. You were here in '84 and '85 for us. And the biggest influence that you had on us, me anyways, was the influence of prayer. You led us in prayer before and after every practice, before and after every game. And it's something that's missing in today's society. We can all use a little bit more prayer, and I thank you for that. There's also one other thing. My last at bat, my senior year, it was a cold, rainy. I know it never rains here in Niagara Falls. It was a cold, rainy day in May, and my last at bat was a base hit to right field. And Father Shea was running around like a crazy man, and he got the umpire. And Father, you probably don't even remember this, but at the end of the game, after our prayer, you awarded me the game ball, and that was my 55th hit of the season, which was a then record, back in 1985. And, I was a college kid. It was over 30 years ago. That ball, I probably put it in a Ziploc bag and I threw it in a drawer somewhere. But I always remember that the ball was a Wilson A1010. And I changed the Ziploc bag every couple of years, but this is the ball you gave me in May of 1985. My senior year, we came back from Florida. I was 16 for 25, hitting like 640. The local press began covering my every plate appearance after a newly formed newspaper, the USA Today, reported that a kid from Niagara was the leading hitter in the nation. I ended the season at 469. A week later, I won Niagara's Phil Scafidi Award. And when the family came and handed me, that was the family, I haven't seen that picture ever, and the family handed me that check and the award. It was the biggest award of my life up until today. I could tell baseball stories all day. You guys know that. I'd rather talk about some of the people that are here today. Father, you've done a wonderful job of surrounding yourself with great people. Gray, Jeswald, O'Hara, great coaches, and a strong academic team. That combined with your attention to detail and your passion for Niagara University is no surprise to anybody in this room that Niagara is increasing enrollment and setting records with postgraduates in the workplace. I'm sure those numbers will continue to rise under your direction. You keep it up, they're going to put you in the Hall of Fame someday. I talked about your support staff. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about mine. You guys ready? Fatty, Ricky, Tony, Coach Salinger, Coach Bottolato, Father Shea, Catch, Artie, Baldwin, Jake, Squires, and Gabe. Thanks for sharing this with me. Thanks for letting a kid from Rochester be a part of your lives. Today's not only a great day for me, it's a great day for Niagara baseball. Freddie Giblin, Tom Gassé, these guys drove up this morning, 4 o'clock in the morning from Jersey. You've always said whenever they're going to put you in the Hall of Fame someday next to Calvin Murphy, and you were going to be here, and thank you so much for making this trip. It means a lot. Christine O'Hara, Howard Morgan, Dr. Hudicki. We've probably worked together, Christine and I, for 4 or 5 years in the Alumni Association. Doc's been stuck with me in the KISS probably for the last 14 or 15 years. Thank you guys for making Niagara just a little bit better each and every day. My longtime teammates, Jake and Gabe, we get older, but the baseball stories, they're like wine, baby. They never age. And a special shout out to my 85 classmates. My roommates, Trotter, Danny Trotter, Timmy Butler, Jimmy Merrill's here, Mike Swan, and Mark Tambini. This was a big surprise because I can never get you guys to this building for class back in the 80s. But you found it here, and you made it here timely, and you made it here safely. Thank you so much. And you guys know I love you guys. I always have your back. My father-in-law is here, and my sister who came up this morning. Thank you so much for making the trip. Dad, thank you for welcoming me into your family. Lil, you had no choice. Lastly, there's a few people that couldn't make it here today. My first employer, and good friend Tom Golisano, my high school baseball coach, Carmen Rosetta, who are they're vacationing together currently in Florida. And I call him Super Alum, but Jim Glenn, the owner of the Maid of the Mist, and I just call him Super Alum, and he's like Board Emeritus or Chairman Emeritus. He's right under Father. He couldn't make it. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said he was in Florida, and they all passed on their wishes. And three people that couldn't make it, my mother-in-law, Julia, and my mom and dad, Anna and Joe. They may be gone, but never forgotten. And none of us would be here without the sacrifices of our parents, and I'm a true testament to that fact. That's a nice segue into my own family. Then there's my home team, my twin daughters, Brooke and Elise, athletic, intelligent, very beautiful. Thank you for your love and your support in getting your good looks from your mom, not your dad. And my boys, Lenny and Frank, athletic, intelligent, handsome. You guys are great. Thanks for always having daddy's back. And I'm very proud that the two of you boys will carry on the Fiannaca name to future generations. Lastly, the most important person in the room. If anybody today should be recognized with Hall of Fame credentials, it's this person. When we were introduced, I told her she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever met. 27 years later, nothing's changed. She's my business partner, the spiritual leader of our family, a fierce competitor, and my best friend, my wife, Miriam. You know, I'm a karma guy, and I see things in numbers. That's probably why I own a payroll company with her. February 20th, today, marks the 53rd wedding anniversary of my parents. And 22 years ago this morning, I asked you to marry me. Thanks for understanding how I feel about Niagara University. Thanks for giving me the freedom to come here and do what I do to make this a better place. Thank you for your friendship, your support, your unconditional love, and for putting up with all the purple crap I have around the house. In closing, I think it's amazing how we spend only 5% of our lives in college, yet the friendships and the memories truly last a lifetime. Father, I'm going to wear this honor loud. I'm going to wear it proud. But today I'm more proud of the people in this room for sharing this with me. And you is very special. Being recognized in a storied athletic Hall of Fame at a storied university with the likes of Calvin Murphy, Frank Layden, Phil Scafidi, and Mark Gabriel. Very, very special. This turnout of friends, classmates, and teammates. It's unbelievable. It's very, very special. Father Mar, going into the Hall of Fame under your presidential reign is very, very special. But ladies and gentlemen, having my wife and my kids here today, it's priceless. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Frank. Now, I have a feeling that when we got started with the program and I said, it really is my pleasure to be here today, maybe some of you believe me, maybe some of you didn't, but I think you all believe me now after those first two speeches. This is just a tremendous day, and you really see the impact that a day like this has on not just our inductees, but I think everybody in the room gets moved by these speeches. So thank you once again. Next up, we have a brief video to show you of our next inductee, so back to the screen we go. Chris Watson was a consistent scorer and offensive threat during his 4-year career for the Purple Eagles basketball team. Watson, a 6'7" forward from White Plains, New York, led the Purple Eagles in scoring in his final 3 seasons and was third in the MAC in scoring in his junior and senior seasons. As a junior, he scored a career-high 40 points on 16 field goals in a 79-77 overtime win against Siena on February 19, 1996. The 16 field goals made are tied for the most in a conference game in program history. Watson averaged a career-high 17.4 points per game as a senior, while also leading the MAC in field goal percentage. Watson helped lead NU to the MAC tournament semifinals in 1996 and 1997, while earning all MAC tournament honors each year. Watson was selected to the 1995-96 All-MAC first team and earned All-MAC second team honors during the 1994-95 and 1996-97 seasons. Watson also ranks in the top 10 of the Niagara career record books in field goals made, field goal attempts, field goal percentage, free throws made, free throw attempts, and in steals. He finished his career with 1,711 points, which placed him 4th at the time in Niagara history, trailing only Calvin Murphy, Juan Mendez, and Tremel Darden. Chris Watson is now 7th all-time in Niagara University scoring. As it turns out, Chris Watson is still doing his thing in professional basketball as he is playing in Israel. We will now play a video message that Chris has sent our way.
Hello, everyone. It's Chris Watson here. First, before anything, I want to sincerely apologize for not being able to celebrate the weekend with you guys. Thank you to the university for this tremendous, tremendous honor. And also, I want to congratulate the other inductees as well. Right now, I'm in my 19th season, finishing up my 19th season, actually currently playing in Israel, but played in a bunch of countries since I graduated university, played in Uruguay, in Sweden, in Belgium, played for the Israeli national team. So throughout all the years, I ran into a lot of guys, a lot of alumni, guys I used to play in Niagara, of course. So it's been a crazy ride, and never thought I'd be playing this long. But situations. Well, I came to visit the school senior year in 1992, I think it was, and it was my first official visit. And I was signed right away. Like, I just fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with all the way the basketball program was run, with the coaches, the players that they had there remaining. Plus, there was a lot of new players coming in at the time, so I wasn't going to be alone. There was like 4 or 5 other freshmen with me, so it was an easy decision for me. And besides that, my parents, mother, sister, brother really enjoyed the campus as well when they came up with me. So it was a no-brainer to come to the school, and I'm glad I made that choice. Well, I have to give a big, big thank you to my head coach at the time, Jack Armstrong. I have to thank him for believing in me. You know, he came and recruited a kid from White Plains, New York, small town, and he believed in me, and I really need to thank him for that, giving me that opportunity to prove myself on stage. And of course, I want to thank all the teammates that I played with. I'm still in touch with a lot of them to this day. It's like a family, and definitely couldn't achieve any kind of success that I had without them. Memorable moments. Of course, there's a lot of those on and off the court, me and my teammates. But I think the thing that sticks out the most to me is, keeps itching at me a little bit, is that for as good as I was, I could have been a whole lot better. You know, at the time I didn't really know it because I was a little bit young, but playing 20 years professional like I've been now, it just shows me that there's such another level I could have went to as a basketball player in Niagara, and I just couldn't see it at the time, you know? So I'm sitting here a little bit built with regret a little bit, and if I had a message to the players, if you're watching this now, the girls team, guys team, doesn't matter, any sport that you play, you gotta take advantage of the opportunity that you have right now. I mean, people are gonna tell you this forever, that this is the best time in your life, and it's probably not gonna register, but I'm here to tell you that this is one of the most special times that you're gonna have in your life. You're building bonds, and you need to take full advantage of it. You know what I mean? Get in the gym, work out, try to be the best player you can be. You know what I mean? Because when it's all said and done, you don't want to have any regrets at all. I also want to say a special thank you to my mother. You know, just a little lady from Jamaica, and came to the country long time ago, 34 years ago, just to try to give us a better life, and she sacrificed her relationship with me, you know, time with me, so I could go pursue my dreams. And without her support, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I've been doing. So I just want to give special thanks. This award couldn't be possible without her support. So I thank you, and I love you, Mom. So in closing, again, just want to thank the university again for bestowing me with this great honor. Again, so sorry I couldn't be there to join you guys, but definitely I'll be making a visit this summer to the campus, and I'm sure it's still lovely like always, and it's Purple Eagles for life. Go Eagles.
And as Chris mentioned, when he is back on campus in the future, we'll certainly get the award to him and give him additional recognition. So congratulations to Chris. Next up, we are going to highlight the 20th year of Niagara hockey as we induct the 1999-2000 men's ice hockey Purple Eagles team. Back to the video screen. The 1999-2000 Purple Eagles men's hockey team made history by capturing the inaugural College Hockey America Championship in the program's fourth season of NCAA Division I competition. The Purple Eagles went on to post the program's first and only win in the NCAA tournament when they defeated the University of New Hampshire in the Western Regionals first round. The 99-2000 team was guided by 15 members of Niagara's inaugural team that joined the Purple Eagles 3 seasons prior. The forward group was headed by all-time Niagara greats such as Jay Kasperick, Mikko Sivonen, Kyle Martin, and Mike Isherwood. 4 seniors led the way in the blue line with defensemen Peter Ricketts, Nate Handrahan, and Colin Rose, joined by Chris McKenzie, who is the program's all-time leading scorer among defensemen. In goal, the team was anchored by a phenomenal season by Greg Gardner, whose 12 shutouts remain an NCAA single-season record. In addition to his Niagara single-season record, 41 games played, 29 wins, and a goals against average of 1.56. As the number 1 seed in the CHA tournament, Niagara defeated Air Force in the semifinals 9-1 before defeating Alabama Huntsville 3-2 in the championship game. Kyle Martin was named the tournament MVP and was joined on the tournament all-star team by Jay Kasperick, Chris McKenzie, and Greg Gardner. In their NCAA tournament opener, the Purple Eagles knocked off third-seeded New Hampshire 4-1 behind 2 goals from Mikko Sivonen, with Ryan Harris and Kyle Martin each adding a goal, and 34 saves from Greg Gardner. The Purple Eagles advanced to the Elite 8, where they fell to the eventual champions, North Dakota. The 1999-2000 team holds the program records for most wins at 30, most goals with 165. They had the best power play percentage ever, as well as the best penalty kill percentage in a single season. In October of that season, the Purple Eagles were ranked number 15 in the USA Today American Hockey Magazine poll. It was the first time they received a national poll ranking. They finished the season ranked number 8 in the nation. Folks, before we bring up Niagara head coach Dave Burkholder, I do want to also thank Brian Rock and the entire IT department here at Niagara University for doing a great job with the videos, and shaky hands Callan up here able to operate that successfully, so we appreciate that. Brian Rock here today in the back of the room. Very nice. He is thrilled that I just made a big deal out of that, let me tell you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome Niagara head coach Dave Burkholder.
Good afternoon. I am thrilled and honored to be here to share in the stories and, as Simon mentioned, all the memories of Niagara athletics. My job today is just to introduce our team representative who's going to speak on behalf of the magical season, as I would like to say, the magical season that was 1999 and 2000 for the men's hockey team. If you back up 4 years, we started with, it's a story that started with 27 freshmen, a game at Division III Fredonia State, an outdoor game at Hobart, and then to get to 2000 with, I have to check my notes here, in 2000, 15 seniors, 6 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 6 freshmen. And as the tape alluded to, 30 wins, 8 losses and 4 ties, and a trip to the Elite 8. Amazing. It's a book or a movie, it should have been. Wins against Quinnipiac, Boston University, Princeton, RPI, Cornell, Merrimack, Brown, Colorado College, Western Michigan, Nebraska Omaha, and UNH in the NCAA tournament. What isn't known, or people may not remember or realize this, 42 games, we played 12 games at Dwyer Arena. The rest of them on the road. Because at the time, the big guys would play us, but we had to go there. So you want to talk about road warriors. phenomenal story that we only had 12 home games. So this is all about the players, but before I bring up our representative, John Marshall, I do want to give a shout out to Ken Roush, who was an assistant coach for us. Kenny had a great career at Boston University as a player and then came to us, one of my best friends and a big part of Niagara hockey history. So Kenny and Melissa and Wolf coming in from Colorado Springs. But it's great to see you, and it's for sharing this special occasion. And Steve Ostashevitz was our sports information director back then. Did a great job with the media, and what a story it was back then. So Steve's great to welcome you back to Niagara. It's great for me on behalf of the 2000 team to bring up John Marshall, and we picked John Marshall. He was a 4-year captain for us, and that does not happen in college athletics. Again, we started with 27 freshmen. So we had 3 freshmen that were captains, but John was a 4-year captain for us. Won the Most Dedicated Player Award 4 years in a row. We have since named that trophy after John, Dr. John Marshall Award. So it's an honor to bring up John Marshall from Langdon, Ontario, number 6, John Marshall.
Thank you very much for having me here today. You know, Berkey called me about a week ago and he said, hey, there's a luncheon at Niagara University. Can you speak at it? Can I have some more detail on it? No, it's just a luncheon. It's just a luncheon. It's not a big deal. Just put something together. And then I searched this morning at about 3 a.m. I searched online, Niagara University hockey team, year 2000, and it came up that this was going to be streamed online. So that's actually when I put this together. So thank you, Berkey, for that. Congratulations to the other inductees. I want to tell you, Frank, that I started playing baseball when I was 12, and we had a similar first at bat because I did the exact same thing you did. I got up to bat and I closed my eyes and swung and I hit the ball. I didn't hit a home run, but I didn't get another hit the rest of the year. So what I would do is I would actually crowd the plate so I'd get hit so I could get on base. So that was the only hit I got that year. So batting .469 is an impressive accomplishment. If anybody knows that, I know that. So congratulations. Thank you, Father, for having us here today. Simon Gray as well. Coach Burkholder, thank you so much. Niagara University was founded in 1856. On May 1st, 1857, the school moved from Buffalo to its current location on Mount Eagle Ridge, overlooking the Niagara Escarpment. The university was originally called Our Lady of Angels Seminary, but the name was changed to Niagara University in 1883. The university was founded by the Vincentians based on a model of altruism, community service, and selflessness. Now, believe it or not, I gave a speech in 1999 in Alaska at the Nissan Classic. This is the speech that I gave. This is how I started. So I want to put this in perspective for you. We're in a room, and there are 4 hockey teams, collegiate athletes in a room, and everybody had a team representative. Everybody got up and said something. I got up, and this is the speech that I gave. And I swear that the other teams were like, we are going to smoke these guys. I mean, they are a bunch of nerds. These guys are cool. So we lost the first game, but I think we won the next game, and I think it was kind of the start of the season. I think we got on our way to it being a very special season. The power play and penalty kill that year both set all-time Niagara University records, and I think we were first in the country. And I never played on the power play or the penalty kill. And I believe it was because they wanted to protect me from being injured because I was the team spokesman. So I appreciate that. Thank you for keeping me safe. I appreciate that. I just wanted to mention some highlights from that year. Obviously, the excellent video talked about some of the highlights. So undefeated in College Hockey American regular season play. College Hockey American tournament champion, Greg Gardner, obviously 12 shutouts, final record of 38-4. I didn't know that we only played 12 home games that year, and it is a big deal, but we probably didn't notice it because we had Village Pizza on the bus on all the rides, so, and turkey sandwiches from Clay Dining Hall, so. An at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, which was a big deal back then because there were only 12 teams. Now there's 16 now, I believe. So it's kind of a big deal to be a team in your 4th year and to be, considered one of the top 12 teams in the country. It's a big deal. And Berkey used to say, and he said it in his speech, he said, geez, if we were a football team or a basketball team, this would have been a movie. It would have been a movie. And I believe he would have been, his character would have been played by Brad Pitt. I believe that. So we received our at-large bid. We upset University of New Hampshire in the first round, which I don't think anybody expected. And then eventually lost to the eventual national championship, University of North Dakota. Other highlights, all CHA first team that year: Greg Gardner, Chris McKenzie, Kyle Martin, Mike Isherwood, second team, Mikko Sivonen. I think it'd be a good time for the guys that are here today from the team just to kind of stand up, if you could. So just stay, actually, if you guys could just stay standing for a second, just so I can see you. There are a lot of guys, obviously, that aren't here, and much respect and thanks to them. I wish they could be here, but everybody has other responsibilities. Andrew Naherniak, one of the best people I think you could ever meet. You look at him, he's an athletic specimen. He's one of the most skilled hockey players I've ever been around. Jay Kasparek, a guy that I don't think ever lost a battle in the corner, ever, and really symbolized what our team was about. And that team was a team that, really had a chip on our shoulder, and I think we were all a bunch of guys that no one expected us to do anything. So, and Jay had a chip on his shoulder and was really symbolized that he was a leader on our team without saying anything. Randy Harris was a guy who, on that team, consider that we were all playing together for 3 years before Randy showed up. And again, he's a guy that slid right in, an immensely skilled player, scored in the game against New Hampshire, and fit right in a group that was already pretty tightly knit, and fit right in. Peter Ricketts, the largest, most athletic human being I've ever seen. Again, immensely talented, incredible human being. Such a privilege to be able to be on a team with you and to be able to say that you're a friend this many years later. Mario Long, again, a guy who showed up on the team a little bit later, but fit right in, hard-working class kind of guy, fit right in, and was part of the family immediately. John Heffernan, probably the best human being I've ever met. An incredible guy, very, very softly spoken, calm, the glue that puts everything together on the team. So just an impressive guy. So thanks for standing up, guys. You can go ahead and sit down. Again, I want to also point out, I didn't have Berkey or Kenny stand up, but they're really the guys that made things happen for us that year and let us play and be the team that we were. So thanks to you guys for the guidance and direction for what you did. In my training, I'm a radiologist, but then did subspecialty training in vascular and interventional radiology. And one of the guys that trained me, he said to me, look, we're going to provide you with a foundation of skills to deal with patient care in certain situations, but you're not going to see everything with us that you're going to encounter. You're going to encounter some nasty stuff. We're not going to be there. You're going to be by yourself, and you're going to have to figure it out with that skill set. And I believe that Berkey and Kenny gave us a skill set when we were at Niagara to encounter the different things that we would deal with later on in life. So I thank you for that. I remember when we played, every year the coaches would come up with a phrase or a mission statement for the year. So the statements were, I remember our freshman year: details deliver, shortcuts don't. We'd wear them on a T-shirt. It was obnoxious. Kids probably tweet it now, but we wore it on a T-shirt. Triumphs through truculent times. I don't think either one of these guys want to take credit for that one. Refuse to cruise. And actually, one of the houses, the guys had a cat, and they called it Cruiser, I think to make fun of the coaches. And it's the journey, not the destination. And I think that, and I've said this before in other Niagara events that I've spoke at, that I think at the time when you're a 20-year-old kid and you're hearing these guys say these things to you that, hey, you're going to miss this years from now, and we want you to be men, and we want you to do good things, and you think, God, Berkey's a goalie. You know, they're different. I don't believe what he's saying, but it resonates now, this many years later. So I appreciate him for that, and I appreciate his friendship still today. So thank you very much. But please don't be mistaken, because our story is not a story of talent at all. It's you know, there were more talented teams than us. I believe that. It's a story of, I think, a group of guys that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted to recruit, and we got a chance, and we grew up together, and we had a chip on our shoulder, and wanted to do big things, and I think we did in a short period of time. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Father Mar, Simon Gray, and Coach Burkholder, and the entire Niagara community for having us today for this honor. It's a privilege to be associated with Niagara University. It's a privilege to have been a student here. It's a privilege to every day be able to think about fond memories of being an athlete here. It's a privilege to, there's not a week that goes by that somebody doesn't say to me, you played hockey at Niagara? Yeah, I did. I did play, and it still means something to me. I don't play very well anymore, but it means a lot to me. You know, every now and then I have patients that will say, hey, you know, I went to Niagara University, or did you go to Niagara University? And I say, yeah, and it means a lot to me. Every now and then I have patients that went to Canisius, and they get a lower level of care. Sorry, I'm sorry, Father. You know I'm sorry. What happens in Niagara stays in Niagara. But seriously, it is a huge honor. I am immensely thankful, and I know the rest of the guys are, and I'm thankful for you guys, having spent time with you and being able to say that you're my friends. So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody.
Thanks very much, Coach Burkholder and John Marshall. It was great comments. We appreciate that. And to be a fantastic hockey player, I think we all know that it takes great anticipation. And where's the puck going to be? John actually must have known. We're actually going to call up each and every one of the fellas that are here today. So, fellas, when I call your name, please come up front. Randy Harris, John Heffernan, Jay Kasperick, Mario Long, Jonathan Marshall, Andrew Naherniak, Stephen Ostasevich, Ken Roush, Peter Ricketts, and Dave Burkholder. Congratulations once again to the 99-2000 hockey team and to all of our inductees here today. Folks, it is now my pleasure to introduce Father James J. Marr, CM, the 26th president here at Niagara University. A Vincentian priest, Father Marr enjoyed a 23-year career at St. John's University before being named Niagara's president in March of 2013. Father Mar has had an immense impact here at NU. Under his leadership, Niagara continues to position itself as the premier institution for higher education in the region while advancing a strategy to establish a worldwide presence. True to his Vincentian background, Father Mar has made access and affordability to excellent education hallmarks of his presidency at Niagara University. He has also become a fixture in the local community, participating in fundraisers for the Special Olympics, as well as the Heart, Love, and Soul Food Pantry, among countless others. An avid runner and sports enthusiast, Father Mar has been an ardent supporter of Niagara University athletics since his very first day on campus. Last year, Father Mar was chosen as the MAC representative to the NCAA Presidential Advisory Group. That is a role that he continues to serve in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I welcome the 26th president of Niagara University, Father James Mar.
Thank you, Todd, and I join everyone else in congratulating Miriam, Frank, Chris, and the hockey team from 1999 to 2000. And I thank all of you for being here today. As Todd mentioned, I serve on the NCAA Presidential Forum, which is a group of university and college presidents that represent what are called the non-autonomous conferences in the NCAA, the non-big football conferences. And one of the movements that's underfoot in the NCAA is really to try to, in a certain sense, focus on what's most important and what's the quality of the experience of the student athlete. And at the core of that is really that athletics has to be connected to educational values. And so there's an emphasis now on how do you provide opportunities for student athletes to have access to other things that other students normally have. For example, study abroad, career services, but also to focus on life skill development. The things that athletics can provide to student athletes that prepare them for life. And that's what's most exciting to me as I listen to the stories today about our inductees. All very different people and come from different backgrounds and different sports. But the one thing that they share is that their experience as a student athlete prepared them to be incredibly extraordinary people and successful in life in their own ways. And that's why we do this work. That's why it's so worthwhile. That's why the coaches put in the long hours. That's why the administrators do the paperwork. That's why the university commits itself to Division I athletics. Because we believe in what our graduates become. They're incredibly talented men and women who make great sacrifices, who grow through those sacrifices, who commit themselves to excellence, and who are a leaven in our community, who make a difference in the lives of others, that they leverage and they use their experience as student athletes to make a difference in the world. If we think about the leadership of Simon Gray, who's doing a phenomenal job as our athletic director, and his senior team and our coaches and the administrators of the athletic department, that's really what they commit themselves to. They commit themselves to the development and the progress of student athletes. And what I would say is, if you just think about in a snapshot, our student athletes, they are extraordinary young people. Their grade point average, on average, is higher than a very, very good and talented student body. Their retention average is close to 90% for freshmen. They do incredible service in the community, incredible service, both as teams but also on their own. Simon was just sharing with us last evening that the largest major of our student athletes at Niagara University is biology. So they are incredibly serious about their studies, whether that's in biology, sport management, nursing, arts and sciences, education, hospitality and tourism, or business. And that's what we're incredibly proud of. And that's what we celebrate today. And so what I say to our inductees is your legacy continues today at Niagara University. Oftentimes as a president, there's a need for me to say, well, what does the university need from you? We need you to help us tell our story. The extraordinary story that you have continues today. And so what I say to the people in this room is, help Niagara University to tell our story about athletics. We know that we need to, in a certain sense, move our programs forward and continue to help them to meet the challenges and the demands of today and tomorrow. And you are instrumental in being able to help us to do that. So however you can continue to help the university tell this great story about the impact, the educational values, the phenomenal young people who serve each and every day and wear the Niagara University uniform and represent the Purple Eagles is what we need most from you. So go forth, tell the story of Niagara University, and help us to continue on the path to excellence. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Father. Just about done with the program, folks, but if we could have all of the inductees please come up front one more time. We're going to kind of get that group photo of the entire 2016 Hall of Fame induction class. So get your cameras ready, but all of our inductees please come up front, and then we have a couple of closing remarks. And yes, bring your plaques. And once again, how about a final round of applause for our 2016 inductees? Folks, as we close, on behalf of Niagara University Athletics, we'd like to congratulate all of our inductees, and we thank you all for coming out today. We hope you enjoyed the event. Good luck to our hockey team as they play at RIT tonight, 7 o'clock puck drop on 1340 a.m. if you're going to tune in. Also to the baseball and tennis teams, they are both in action today. We also hope you will be able to join us at the Gallagher Center for the men's basketball game against Fairfield, 3 p.m. tip-off. If you can't make it, it will be on WGR 550 a.m., 240 pregame, just saying. Just saying. Housekeeping, all inductees will be recognized during the under 4-minute media timeout at center court at the Gallagher Center. So that under 4-minute media timeout, you will get some recognition. Also, if you don't have your tickets yet for the basketball game, please grab them on the way out, right outside our room here at the registration table. Okay? That's going to do it. Thank you once again. My name is Todd Callan. Thanks so much for coming. Have a great day, and congratulations.